question now. Can you see it, Asit ji?
But it's not in the chat box.
It is. It's now in the. You want me to read it aloud? I can.
Oh, that would be better, Veena ji.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there's a question from Vijay Saraf ji. Says, how to overcome the fear?
Mm-hmm. Many people have many ideas, but what I would say is fear is not a bad thing. Fear comes as a signal to make you a little more conscious. The first thing that we need to do is to change our attitude towards fear. The moment we look at fear positively and look at fear from the viewpoint that it has come to give you a message. Because if you look at your own life, if fear would not have been there, you may not have risen as a great businessman. All your successes you owe to fear, because fear has challenged you. We have a common TV slogan, he said, "Dar ke aage jeet hai." You see, every time when the fear comes, it gives you a message. So rather than overcoming the fear, I would like to suggest that we need to befriend the fear. And for that, we need to change our attitude. Common people, the moment they think of the fear, is, my God, why it has come? I don't want it. Go away. I said, you have come to empower me. You have come to give me strength, new creativity, new ideas. Tell me what I'm learning from it. So the best way I can answer your question is to be in the learning mode and ask yourself, what am I learning from the fear? Thank you.
Thank you, Asit ji. There's another question. Somebody else has said, thank you, very good presentation, highly relevant to present times. Basant asks more on Ubuntu. In return, what if we don't get from people what Ubuntu is?
Now, getting is an expectation. Are you talking about a give and take situation here? Now, a true giver is just a giver and gives without an expectation. Very difficult thing, easier said than done. But true giving is all about giving unconditionally. Now, when you have expectations linked with giving, it becomes a transaction. So the transactional mode will not help you to evolve at the higher level. All of us need to go to the transcendence level. So we got to relinquish the transaction level and go to the next level, transform our ideas and practice giving without expectations. Not all kinds of giving. Let's say we run an organization, we pay them salary and we get money in lieu of the hard work. That's an expectation, that's normal. But in addition to that, have some more work, some more activities in your life where we go out of the way and give. Maybe on a Sunday morning, without notifying anybody, you go to an old age home, you sit with an old lady, an old man, talk to that person. And this giving is without any expectation. And that's the true giving Ubuntu is talking about. And Ubuntu is not exactly talking about giving. Ubuntu is talking about sharing. Okay? It's talking about sharing everything with others. Thank you very much.
Okay. We have another question. It's not a question, it's a statement from Neeraj Khemka. He says, thank you, Asit ji. Very true, we have not taken care of Mother Nature, and in return, she was forced to take care of herself by pausing the world.
It is such a wonderful statement. I fully vibe with you, Neeraj ji. Very wonderfully executed. Thank you.
Satvinder Grewal says, someone says, it is difficult to do business without ego.
You were right, because a legitimate ego is a practical thing, in the life situation. We cannot do without ego, but all ego is not bad, because when you use your ego for creating something or leading people or leaving a mark in the world, and you do it consciously, that's fine. Only thing is that we got to be conscious. And the strange thing, because the moment you are conscious, ego will vanish. But there is a stage somewhere in the middle when you are in ego and you know that you are in ego, and you say, oh, I suddenly became a victim of ego. That awareness is good enough. And that will slowly change your scenario, change your situation, change your business, change your contacts, change your circle. You will see that everything changes slowly. I'm sharing how things are happening with me now. I have a lot of ego. My friends know that I have a lot of ego. But what is happening right now, that when my ego comes out, I quickly become conscious. I understand that this particular work I executed, I became a victim. When I shout at someone, I said, yeah, I became a victim of ego. So next moment I take charge. So slowly, the frequencies have changed, and I have become more clear on this. Yes.
Thank you. Rohan Naik says, sir, could you please explain the source above the mother nature in the CEO model?
Okay. Mother nature is Prakriti, and the source is Purush. Purush means the creator. The creator has created the world, and the world's run by a system. Now think about your company where you are the chief. You do not run the organization at every level. You do not know what people are doing at the grassroots level. But how are you managing? You have created a system, and the system manages the whole thing. So Prakriti is actually the system and the controller of the system. And God, or creator, manages this whole world through a system. As a common man, as a member of the life situation, our responsibility is to follow the system. And these systems are expressed in various ways. It is expressed as the law of the universe, the law of nature. So when we follow the law of nature, then we align ourselves with the mother nature, and then creator is happy. Because when you are obedient to the mother nature, when you are obedient to Shakti, then Purush is happy. When you are obedient to goddess Kali, who is Mahamaya, the embodiment of the Prakriti, the god of illusion, when she is happy with you, Lord Shiva is happy with you. That is the concept. Rohanji.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other question that anybody has? You can, like I said, unmute yourselves and please ask. I'm not seeing any other questions, Asachi.
All right. Veena ji, can we request KKG to reflect on it and give his views? And because he is a storehouse of knowledge, we always look forward to hear him.
All right. Okay. I'll check. Krishna Paniji, are you here? Krishna Paniji?
See, Veena ji, I have already posted my question in the chat box.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it is there. Just see.
I'll just check.
Sana.
Can you ask it then, Dr. Sana? Because I can't see it here.
The question has privately come to me, so you'll have to post it to Ms. Veena, please.
Oh, okay. Can you post it to everyone, Dr. Sana, or would you like to ask?
Hey, give me a minute. Okay,
sure. I will post it on his behalf right away.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
please.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So is this your question, Dr. Sana? Ear through though helpful device. Is that your?
Yeah, yes, please. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, okay, okay. All right. So, Asatji, I'm just reading it aloud.
Yes.
Ear, though helpful device, of late, fear has become a means to control, put down, and lock down for their personal political agenda. Globally, people are beginning to realize this tactics. Your comments.
Well, fear psychosis is not only in politics, it has been used in every department. I mean, it is used by teachers, not all teachers, often teachers in the school, parents for their children, the senior officers in the organization for the lower staff for getting productivity. But I personally feel that this is an unconscious behavior. People are not enough enlightened to explore alternative ways. That's another reason why this disaster has come. This collective ego has actually reflected in the form of a pandemic, and all calamities are results of that. The time has come to review our own attitudes and change our old belief patterns. And the best way to do it is to come to the present moment, augment and enhance your present moment awareness. And that will help us to discover newer ways, newer strategies. It is a very small and easy statement, but not so easy. Collectively practicing it is one of the greatest challenges. So when I created this program, I also thought that, yeah, what would be the effect of this program? Only a few people will listen. Unless we have a collective consciousness, how could we change the scenario? You are absolutely right, Basantji. Fear happens to be a common tool for running shows, but I personally feel that's a very unconscious way of dealing with the world, and we need to be more enlightened.
Thank you. Satvinder Grewal says, thank you very much for a very clear explanation. And then I think beyond that, we don't have any questions. Anybody else?
KKG has come. I would like to hear.
Okay, is KKG, are you here?
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, very much.
Thank you very much, Asitji, at the very outset. You have given us a very wonderful presentation. I wanted you to, give some more insight into the change aspect, which we have very beautifully mentioned. And I personally feel that awareness is a fundamental issue where the whole thing is because we do not have attention. It is the inattention which causes serious problems, both inside and outside, within the human psyche, and also that is what gets reflected in the whole of the world outside. Because essentially the outside and inside are only two aspects which are artificially divided. There is no, if you look at it, there is no inside and outside per se. The inside reflects the outside, and the outside in some ways gets into you, and there's a constant mutual exchange of the whole stream of consciousness. And I think that's something wonderful which you have mentioned, even with regard to fear, when you have really mentioned that it is more on account of considering it as something bad and not welcoming it. You have made a wonderful point there where we need to welcome it because it's always a challenge. Challenge should make us more aware and more energetic and more oriented towards the right action.
Empowered.
Yeah, being empowered, that would be a real thing. So maybe I think we didn't have, you could have elaborated much more. I know you have a lot of information to share.
Yeah.
And
No,
your article was wonderful. Actually, it shares so many interesting facets of the presentation which you made. I think we always have an opportunity to delve much deeper into this.
correct.
So I would like to thank you from the very bottom of my heart.
KKG, I just want to ask you, every time I work on these matters, and I find that I'm in the life situation, not able to access life per se, in a life situation that I am in, everything hovers around human attitude. Because when I say that change your attitude about fear, in my today's talk also, life's calling, wake up, it's all about attitude. When we change our attitude, that's the first point when from where we can go to enhancement of our awareness, our ability to accept things more, being in the presence, being in being. All these things begin with our attitude. What do you have to say about it, Krishna Faniji?
You see, the point is the reality of life situation is overwhelming. See, the reality of myself is so overwhelming that I can't see beyond that. Because for many of us, life, if you talk about life, it appears to be abstract. Whereas life situation is terribly real. It is something which is very real for me. And obviously, I would like to deal with something which is tangible and real to me. And this is where you have rightly said, and you come from the land of Kali. The very meaning of that is that we are covered with the darkness of illusion. The word Kali has two references. One is that Kali means dark or black. And the other is she is an embodiment, she is a symbol of time. She is a symbol of time, Kala. Kala has both these meanings of being dark and also with reference to time. So these are the two factors which create this illusion which appears to be so real to us.
Correct.
The illusion appears to be so real, and therefore the life situation dominates us always. The life situation dominates us always. It is a part of the play of nature. So unless you expand your consciousness in a manner where you include life and see yourself as a small part of the whole system, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to manage things because this is what dominates. Correct. And you have in your article you have mentioned a very good reference of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Where the deluded people do not see it.
Yeah. Vimudha nanu pashyanti.
Vimudha nanu pashyanti. They don't see it. It is only the people who have the eyes of wisdom, jnana chakshu. Only those with that eyes of wisdom are aware of it and they can see beyond that. Now that is a fundamental issue, and therefore that's why I stress the point of awareness. Unless one becomes intensely and acutely aware of oneself, one would try to continue with life as it is, life situation as it is, without any change or disturbance. And most of us feel that any challenge is a great trouble. It's a great inconvenience and discomfort for life.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, if you are in your comfort zone, there is absolutely no scope for growth or development. Only when you are constantly disturbed from your comfort zone, then you will find the possibility of growth and development. That is what is very important. Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
There's TNB is, I don't know what the full name is, but he says insightful. Thank you, Asidji. And Paul H says, if we focus on God, we are not fearful on the life struggles on earth. However, the trials that we endure help us to grow knowledge and wisdom. Any comments on that?
No, I would request Krishna Faniji to comment because I do not really understand what Mr. Paul is trying to say. If we focus on God, I mean, God is a word we have made very complex, you know. So what do we mean by focusing on God? Have we seen God ourselves? How can we focus on something that we have not seen? Other questions immediately rising in my mind.
Krishna Paniji?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Paul would like to say something. He's trying to give some more clarity on what he wants,
All right.
what
Okay.
he is addressing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just basically saying, you know, God Almighty, you know, the one and only God. So we don't need to see to know that He exists, right? But I think if you have that relationship with God and you put your fear to God, the anxieties that you feel, the fears that you have, they can go away, right? You can feel, you can rest in God and not have have that fear and anxiety. But I think some of the experiences in life that we go through help build our character, help build our knowledge and wisdom. You know, we grow and develop spiritually from that.
It's Mr. Paul, it's essentially a matter of expansion of consciousness. See, as Mr. Asidji just mentioned, regard is, in most of the traditions, it is something unknown. Unknown in the sense it is something which cannot be known through the level of consciousness, mental consciousness with which we are functioning. So it's only you will come nearer and nearer to something eternal and something which is vast only through the expansion of one's own limited consciousness. So if you are able to constantly dwell in that expansion of consciousness, obviously you will not be fearful, and you will take all the trials and tribulations of life as a challenge, and through the endurance of that, you will obviously grow in knowledge and wisdom. Your statement is right to that extent where you have rightly pointed out that all these trials and tribulations in life should not make us bitter and antagonistic to the whole process of the evolution of life, but they should help you to grow both in understanding at one level and perception at the other level. So that's what really makes you free of fear, and also gives you the strength to endure and then grow out of it.
Yeah, agree. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishna Paniji, as well. I think there don't seem to be any other questions, so maybe we should close. We are at 8 o'clock now. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Asidji.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Very nice,
Good night. Thank you.
interesting session. I just want to tell you all that this week we have another great program for you. On 15th May, we have Acharya Raghu Ganpati, who will be talking to us on spirituality decoded. And our Acharya Ganapati ji is a scholar, practitioner, and teacher of the Advaita, which is the non-dual Vedanta philosophy. And he will be talking to us on the 15th. We'll start the session at 7 o'clock, as we usually do. So please join us then on the 15th at 7 p.m. And thank you again for your presence and participation today from all of us at Rtambhara. Thank you.